Do you want to scale your business fast? Perhaps you're just working too hard and your stress is affecting your family and your relationships. Would it be valuable to you if you didn't have to work so hard and endure blood, sweat, and tears just to see your business scale? And that it didn't have to take 10 years? But how about what if it could happen in a single day? Scale your business fast. If this is you, you're in the right place because today we're going to be talking about how to stop procrastinating and start taking fast and perfect action. Just make that decision to take fast and perfect action and do it now. I'm awesome Angie Ingstrom.
And I'm GITTE. Now, have you ever found yourself postponing important actions in your business? It could be something like going live on social media, it could be sharing your new offer with the world, or perhaps even doing your first virtual event. I gotta be honest here because I gotta admit, I have. And it's not that I don't want fast results in my business. I mean, who doesn't want that, right? No, to be honest, it's more like procrastination seems to be sneaking up on me. And unfortunately, it typically happens when we're aiming to scale our business. Another way to say it would be when we're trying to scale a business by doing something different, by doing something new.
Oh yeah, especially doing something new. And I definitely know this one. Geety and I are event consultants, but we haven't always been event consultants. And I remember doing my first event. Maybe you remember yours too, Geety?
Yeah, I absolutely do. And to be honest, Angie, did I ever procrastinate in doing that first one?
Yeah. Yeah, listeners out there, you know that feeling when you're doing something for the first time, and it's a little out of your comfort zone and you're just really nervous about it and you just keep postponing doing something about it?
That's really a great description because that's exactly what I was doing. So I kept postponing it. I kept procrastinating. And to be honest, I spent quite a lot of time procrastinating doing this first virtual event. And the funny thing is that when I finally did do my first virtual event, it turned out that being on Zoom and talking to my audience at this event, it really wasn't such a big deal.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Geety. Because it's interesting, the first time you do anything, it's always there can be a lot of anxiety and fear around that, and so just keep procrastinating. And you're not alone, Geety. We all do this. And there's
Mhm.
so many business owners struggle, with procrastination, especially with virtual events. So you're not alone. Did you
Thank you.
know that self-made billionaire W. Clement Stone attributes his success to saying one phrase over and over? One phrase. And he said this 100 times a day. He had his staff say it 100 times a day. And it was just one phrase. Can you guess what the phrase is? Do it now. He,
Do
you
it
know, he
now.
said he said it 100 times. He had his staff say it 100 times a day. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. The number one hindrance to success is not mindset. It's delay. It's procrastination. And today we are encouraging you to make that decision to stop delaying and postponing whatever your next big goal is and just go ahead and decide to do it now. Do it now. Do it now. And we also encourage you to decide when you're going to do your first virtual event. Decide a date. Decide right now. Decide right now. Do it now.
Exactly, Angie. Do it now. Do it now. Now, as a psychologist, I know that it's probably not as easy as it sounds. The reason being that our brains are actually wired for instant gratification. And we all know that scaling a business involves making decisions that have delayed rewards. It's not instant gratification. So sometimes our brains struggle with that, leading us to put off the essential tasks that are critical for creating growth in a business, the long-term growth.
Yeah, like doing your first virtual event.
Exactly.
But the problem is that when we delay taking action in our business or anything in life, we opt in for short-term comfort. And unfortunately, it's at the expense of our long-term success. So today we're encouraging you to don't postpone, stop procrastinating, and do it now.
Exactly. Do it now. Now, I know that it's not as easy as it sounds. So let's look into one of the worst factors that contribute to procrastination. And that is the notion that we think we have to feel inspired or motivated to work on a task at a particular moment of time. Like, I write a lot of text and I enjoy writing, but sometimes, and to be absolutely honest here, it's quite often I don't feel inspired when I sit in front of my computer. It could be I'm writing an email, a funnel, a post, or something else, but sometimes, often, the inspiration seems to be lacking. Perhaps you know that feeling when you're struggling to write something and you keep being distracted. Uh, like maybe I should make a cup of tea. Or perhaps you're thinking, did I just get a text message? I gotta check this one. Or perhaps you're thinking, I'm going to my aunt's birthday this weekend. Maybe I should start Googling a present. That kind of stuff. Have you ever procrastinated doing stuff like this?
Yeah, it's amazing how enticing working on taxes can become when I'm really trying to procrastinate on something I don't want to do. In, if I'm excited about doing taxes versus whatever I'm procrastinating from, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's got to be boring.
Fear, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Exactly. And the point is, we don't need to wait for some kind of extra inspiration. We just need to do it now. Do it now.
Do it now. Yeah, yeah. Inspiration. That's a whole topic in and of itself. But
Hmm.
another factor that often contributes to procrastination is perfectionism. And facts are that procrastination and perfectionism often go hand in hand. The reason being is that procrastination is often a way to deal with the stress and anxiety that comes with trying to do everything perfectly. Like, that feeling when perfectionism whispers, will anybody buy my new offer? Perhaps I have to perfect it a little more, make it a little better, make the copy better, make the funnel better. Have you ever, is this sounding familiar to anybody? Those endless revisions. To be honest, I sure have.
Yeah, me too, Angie.
Yeah, and the truth is that these are all symptoms of that subtle grip of the combined power of procrastination and perfectionism.
So true. Now, we promised to help you stop procrastination. So, would it be okay if we share best tips for doing that?
Yes, please, let's do it. Do it now.
Do it now. Okay, cool. The first tip is doing the first tip to doing that is actually understanding the causes of procrastination. As we just talked about, such as perfectionism and waiting for inspiration, those are our reasons for procrastination. And understanding the causes makes it possible for us to stop procrastination dead in its tracks. Now, remember we just talked about distractions getting in the way of us completing a task? This is the second tip. You need to eliminate all those distractions. You know that feeling when your phone keeps beeping with notifications and you're so tempted to just take a little uh, look at it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And so do I. So a great tip is simply turning off your phone and closing your email, thereby making your work environment a nice and quiet place to work, which will definitely result in you getting so much more work done.
Once again, another big topic is environment, like we just talked about, eliminate those distractions. It comes from your environment, and who has control over your environment? We each do. That's our
Yeah,
responsibility. And
we do.
so this second tip here is you just have to decide to focus, set up your environment, however you got to do it, and do it all now. Do it now. So let's recap. This first tip was understanding the causes for procrastination. The second tip was eliminating those distractions. And now this third tip is breaking down your goals into smaller, more manageable tasks so they're not so overwhelming. Because if you're procrastinating something, perhaps it's just too big of a chunk, and it's like, if you make it smaller, you'll actually, like, you can accomplish it. You want to end that day or that time frame that you're working, with a win. So think of it like building a skyscraper. You don't construct it in one giant leap. It's all about laying one brick at a time. And just like one little task after another, you just have to do one little bit every day, because small, consistent steps lead to big results. And, and so if it's feeling overwhelming, like too much, what's one little baby step you can take and then just do it now? A great way to refine this tip is to set a specific time limit for doing a task. Like if it's something that, you can't seem to finish it, like if it's, especially like editing copy, like that's a good example. You just go ahead and use a timer. And when that time is up, whatever you got done is what you have, and you've got to stop and just, and go on to the next thing. It just has to be done when that timer is up. And, a pro tip, by the way, this also helps if you're getting lost in perfectionism.
Mm-mm. So true. You just gotta go ahead and do it now. Do it now.
Do it now.
So the first step was understanding the causes for procrastination. The second tip was eliminating distractions. The third tip was breaking down your goals into smaller tasks. And tip number 4 is holding yourself accountable to the deadlines you set for yourself. The importance of accountability, they can't really be overstated. So go ahead and create a schedule for the activities you're planning to do. Hold yourself accountable. Make sure you do it now.
Do it now. Whether it's creating your premium priced offer or perhaps marketing your first virtual event, the point is you need to stick to your timetable at all costs. So don't be afraid to enlist the help of others. If that's what's going to keep you on track and on time, figure out how you work. And by the way, this will also help you avoid getting stuck trying to reinvent the wheel when you bring some other people in on this, which also saves you a lot of time. So just decide whatever it is you're working on, do it now.
Yes, do it now. So let's recap. Now, the first tip was understanding the causes for your procrastination. The second tip was eliminating any distractions. The third tip was breaking down your goal into smaller tasks. The fourth tip was holding yourself accountable to your deadlines. And personally, I think we save the best tip for last because that is rewarding yourself. If you're wondering why reward works, here's the short answer. Psychological research shows that reward is a lot more effective than punishment due to the fundamental principles of positive reinforcement. The reason being that when we are rewarded for desirable behavior, our brain actually releases dopamine, which is the neurotransmitter that's associated with pleasure and reinforcement. So, this positive experience in turn creates a psychological link between the behavior and the reward, thereby making it a lot more likely that we'll repeat this behavior in the future. So, by focusing on rewarding ourselves, we're actually fostering long term behavior change in ourselves. Amazing, right? So, just go ahead and reward yourself. Do it now.
A positive experience for your reward could be something as simple as setting up a reward system for yourself, like taking a break when you've completed a task, or if you've worked for a certain amount of time, you could take a break. Or you could treat yourself to something nice after you've completed the task, like a delicious snack, a cup of your favorite tea, a short walk in the garden. This is where find what motivates you, insert it here as your reward, and then stick to that. If you when you get the thing done, you get your reward.
So true. And yes, it's so important that we choose something which is a reward for ourselves. It's really individual. So thanks for reminding us, Angie. Now, I think all entrepreneurs have suffered from procrastination at some point or another. So I just want to encourage you to not feel embarrassed about it because you can conquer it by understanding the causes and taking steps to overcome it. So let's summarize all the five tips we talked about today. And the first tip was understanding the causes for procrastination. The second tip was eliminating all distractions. The third tip was breaking down your goals into smaller tasks, more manageable tasks. And the fourth tip was holding yourself accountable to your deadlines, sticking to those deadlines. And the last tip was rewarding yourself, creating some kind of reward system for yourself, perhaps.
Yeah, and just remember that the journey to scaling success is all about progress. And when you procrastinate, you stagnate and you're allowing yourself to stay mediocre and average. And experts call it the decay of delay. So stop procrastinating. Do it now. Take your business to new heights. And thanks for listening. Keep your momentum. Keep moving forward. Don't stop and procrastinate and stagnate. Keep your momentum and keep moving forward. Do it now. And if you are a
Do it
course
now.
creator, yes, do it now. If you're a course creator, business owner, influencer, spending too much time selling one-on-one, and you're ready to condense time and sell one-to-many, then open up a tab on your browser and go to elitevirtualstages.com/report and learn how you can turn your expertise into a 6 or 7-figure day using live transformational virtual masterclasses. So do it now.